Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a 33-year-old lifelong experiencer, and I'm making these videos for information sharing. I do a lot of artwork um, surrounding my experiences, and I make these videos to try to explain the experience behind the paintings the best that I can. I feel like um, there are a lot of people out there who share the same experiences or very similar, and maybe feel like they're alone in what is happening to them. And I feel like you need to know that you're not the only one that these things are happening to, and that there are people out there that you can talk with about these experiences. And what I'm trying to do is trying to find other people like me, um, who I can like compare notes with, and like try to find out more about the phenomenon, and try to just gain more understanding and knowledge. I think it's really important to share about our experiences, not only for that, but just to let other people know who maybe aren't experiencing it, that this is happening to people, and this is a very real thing. And there's something to all of this, and I feel like everybody in the world needs to know. I think, I don't know, there's just a lot of importance behind it all, and a lot of things are connected. And so usually in my videos I talk about some of my paintings and the experiences behind them, but for this one I do not have a painting. I didn't feel like it was necessary, but I do want to come on and let you guys know about it, just because from what I found out later on, that this happens to a lot of experiencers, and it can be pretty frightening. And I feel like some of my knowledge I want to share with everybody. So maybe if this happens to you, um, you might have a way to deal with it, a way to get out of it. So what I want to talk to you guys about is mind control and sleep paralysis, and how I feel like it can be connected. So I did make a video about this recently and uploaded it, but I deleted it just because I didn't feel like I conveyed the seriousness behind it. I felt like, I don't know, I just need you guys to understand how serious this is, and I don't want it to be like a joke. I feel like it's super important. So a couple years ago, I went to a restaurant with my family that we would go to a lot, um, just about every weekend. So as we're being seated, we took a table kind of closer to the center of the restaurant by the bar area, which is directly in the center of the restaurant. It's a rectangular shaped bar. And so when we sat down, I was facing the bar, and I could see right in my field of vision these two extremely handsome men. And they looked to be like they could be like identical twins, very, very similar in appearance and just gorgeous. Um, my husband was sitting next to me, and on the other side of him was his mother, and our three children were sitting in front of us at the other side of the table. So I remember picking up this high energy from these two men like right away, and we just kept looking up at each other, like making a lot of eye contact. And I didn't first of all, I'm a very shy person, so eye contact with me is kind of hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to make eye contact with people. So I found it interesting that this kept happening, but it happened eventually so much between me and these two gentlemen that it started to kind of make me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Um, at first, it felt like maybe we were just like checking each other out, like mutually thinking, I don't know, there's some type of physical attraction there. And eventually, I got up to go to the restroom because I just kind of wanted to get away from this situation. It was starting to make me uncomfortable how much eye contact was going on. And I could feel their eyeballs on me. And so I went to the restroom, I washed my hands, fixed my hair, looked on my phone for a little bit, took a couple deep breaths, and walked back out. And in order to get back to my table, I have to walk past the bar area where the two gentlemen were sitting. And I was about 15 feet away from them. And I remember looking up, and they were both staring at me. And I remember looking into one of their eyes, and that's when everything just kind of went black. And I ended up at the opposite side of the restaurant in the back corner in between these two tables where these two families are sitting. And as I came to in this part of the restaurant, I remember looking down at the families and like kind of having a freak out moment where I'm like, how the hell did I end up over here? And they were looking at me like, can we help you? Why are you standing in between our tables? And I was so uncomfortable and so confused as to how I got to this part of the restaurant. I had no memory of walking over there at all. And I remember sitting down, finding my way back to my table and sitting down and telling my husband what had just happened. I basically blacked out, and I'm kind of hyperventilating a little bit, trying to explain to him what I just experienced. And it was so strange because I don't know where I went, like where my mind went, where my consciousness went in that moment when, from walking next to the bar and ending up at the back corner of the restaurant, it freaked me out. Like, where the hell was I? Where was my mind? I have no memory of what went on in that space. I couldn't see, feel, hear, smell, touch. Like, I wasn't aware of any time that passed by or anything like that. I asked my husband, "Did you see me walk from the bathroom?" And he said, "Yeah, I saw you walk around the restaurant, and you kind of just, it. I don't know. I was confused as to why you walked around the long way, but it's pretty much all that happened." And I'm just like freaking out inside, like I'm shaking and stuff, just wondering what the hell just happened to me. And I remember looking back up at these two men again, and there they are staring at me, and I'm just like, oh God. So I tried my best to kind of just avoid the whole eye contact situation and just kind of try to calm myself down. My husband was trying to calm me down, and my mother-in-law picked up on some strange vibe I guess I was giving off because, I'm freaking out over on the other side of the table. And maybe she thought that my husband and I were having like an argument, and she's kind of getting like annoyed with the situation. And I didn't want to explain to her what just happened because I didn't even really know. And so maybe 5 minutes passed, and the waitress brought us our food. And I remember picking my food up and taking a bite, and I could hear, not in my ear, it wasn't my husband, it wasn't the people at the table next to me, I could hear directly into my head a man's voice say, "Wow, I can't believe she just took a bite." And when I heard that, something told me to look at these guys again, and they yet again were staring. And I heard like this almost sinister, like little laugh at the end of that sentence, and it just was like, oh, you know, I kind of feel like I know what just happened here. I just remember looking at them like, you motherfuckers, and just, realizing a possibility of what could have just taken place right now. And I turned to my husband and I'm like, oh my God, like, I wanted to tell him so bad what I thought in that moment, but I couldn't. And his mom was like totally feeling uncomfortable at this point, and she's like, you know what, let's just get our food and get it to go. And she went outside to have her cigarette and wait in the truck. So waitress boxed up our food for us, and my husband grabbed my kids, and I was the last person to leave the table. And I remember dreading having to walk past the bar area to exit out of the restaurant because I had to walk by these two guys. And so I get my stuff and I'm walking to the bar, and I look up and I notice that these guys are no longer at the bar. So I go outside and I'm like looking around all paranoid, thinking, they're gonna pop up or something, and I never saw them again. Got in the truck and went home. And maybe a week later, I was in an experiencer online support group meeting, and I had brought up this experience to the group, and someone who I have a lot of respect for, I feel like they are in the know about experiencers, let me know that this happens to a lot of experiencers, that were targeted by certain individuals. And he told me that the way that I described the appearance of the individuals, the fact that there were two and they looked like twins and they were like Caucasian males with blonde hair and blue eyes, he said that he knew of someone kind of writing a book about these types of experiences with these types of individuals. And um, I think there was like a book suggestion, Ingo Swan's book, Penetration, Extraterrestrials and Human Telepathy. And so, yeah, I ended up much later finally purchasing that book and reading a little bit about it. And like I said, I have constant contact with what I believe to be NHI. And there's a certain being who I pretty much consider to be a friend, let me know that I wasn't being targeted as much as I was being tested by these individuals. At the time that this happened, I remember I was sharing a lot of information that I got about like Mount Shasta and certain bases in Antarctica. And I just felt like there was some type of connection, like maybe I've been oversharing on certain information that I've received. So it's like, okay, so I'm being tested. How am I being tested? And after the meeting, I remember being hit with the thought of sleep paralysis. And I shared in a post into the group about how I used to experience sleep paralysis every night and every nap time as a young child, and how I developed eventually a technique to get out of sleep paralysis. And I felt like that situation at the restaurant, that the testing maybe was my ability to snap out of this like mind control, body control situation that I was in. And the fact that the man said that he couldn't believe that I was able to take a bite after what had just happened to me made me kind of feel like there was some type of connection there with sleep paralysis, the ability to get out of it, and the ability to get out of mind control situation. So I shared with everybody the technique that I developed to get out of it, and I don't have sleep paralysis situations where I'm stuck in that stage anymore. I'm either able to wake myself up completely, or slip back into a deeper sleep, to either have like a lucid dream situation or like astral projection, OBE, out of body experience type of situation. So I also hear that there are a lot of people who talk about sleep paralysis during abductions, and the fact that they can't move. And I feel like there's just a really strong connection between all of these events. And so, yeah, I just felt like it was important to share with you guys what I feel to be like a link. And sure, it could be nothing, I could be wrong, but what if I'm right? And what if it helps other people when they're in these situations? That's kind of more what I'm trying to do. So um, I I don't know if you guys are interested in my technique for getting out of sleep paralysis. I'll be more than happy to share it with you. You can write me down below and let me know if you'd like more information on that. We can message each other through Instagram or Signal, or even inbox me on X. I'll share my information, how you can get a hold of me in those places. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything like that, or any suggestions on any paintings of mine that you'd like to hear about next. Let me know, and I'll do my best to make it happen. But I hope you guys have a good day or night wherever you are, and just try to be good to each other, and just know that there are people out there like myself that you can talk to, and you don't have to feel like you're alone. Um, and I promise you, I don't feel like I know it all. I just, you know, only know things through what I've experienced personally, and I just try my best to not lean too hard on one side of things. Try to keep an open mind, and that's even a really hard spot to be in the middle. Not, being an extreme debunker, non-believer in the phenomenon, to totally diving in and being, you know, believing that what I experience is definitively the right thing, or definitively communicating with NHI. There could be a whole host of situations that make this type of communication possible, and a lot of it's pretty scary to think about, like technology that certain agencies have, or just I don't know, there's just a whole lot of stuff out there to think about. So I'm not trying to freak anybody out or anything, but there's just a whole lot of shit that we do not know. And that's why I think it's important to share what we've all gone through, so we can try to find like an answer. Who knows if we'll ever get it, but I still think it's important. So have a good day, night, wherever you are. Talk to you guys soon.